Yes, the boys are back, and welcome to Waxing Lyrical with Mainz and Dutts. I'm Mainz, and my colleague in Rainford, playing with his Darth Vader soundboard, Mr. Neil Dutton. How are we?
Splendid.
Good. So this week, in preparation for the NFL draft, we're going to do some mock drafts of our own, but it's going to be Mainz and Dutts style. And you know what, Dutton? Fan participation, we thought this week.
Indeed.
Let's get some listener questions. The question we got to ask is, do you think we got good questions?
Do I think we got good questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have a loyal fan base.
I do too. So we're going to do that a bit later on. First of all, let's get on with the show. So Dutton, as I mentioned, it's mock draft season at the moment. We thought over the next couple of shows we'd do a couple of pop culture related mock drafts.
Yeah.
And this week it's our favourite pop culture thing / geek thing, superheroes.
Can we have a qualification on the statement, please?
Go on, Dutton.
A superhero is a cover-all phrase we are using for anyone who has appeared in a genre in which they predominantly fight against crime. Be they have a special ability they were born with, due to some genetic accident they've acquired, or from another planet, or in some cases they have no power at all, they just wear a suit and go out and fight crime. But for the purposes of ease, we will use the term superhero.
Thank you, Neil, for the Oxford Dictionary definition. It's 10 picks, 5 each, with the ultimate aim of having the best superhero group who will beat the others in a fight.
But they would never fight.
They would never fight because they're both superheroes.
Yes.
But what we're going to do is, in theory, whose 5 would beat the other 5 in a Survivor Series style matchup.
Mm-hmm.
We've already done the toss. As we all know, Dutton was the best tosser and won. So he has first pick.
I did want to go 2 seasons without losing a toss as captain of McGuffet.
We did. That's because you are a professional tosser.
Best tosser at the club.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some competition.
Yes, as someone who's also been there, I agree. Okay, Dutton. First pick, superhero draft. Hit us with it.
Batman.
Explain yourself.
Not even close. Batman, as I've said, is, he's the human hero because he has no secret powers. He's a detective, so he has to use his nous as well as his muscles. He feels pain. He feels anger. He's the most human of all the superheroes for me. And let's be honest, you can keep your Tony Starks, the rich guy, whatnot. Bruce Wayne has a pretty cool lifestyle, but Batman, from a pure point of view, he is the knight.
What we've said before on Batman is that his mystery persona is actually Bruce Wayne, not Batman.
Well, it's funny you should say that. I have just finished reading, Batman and Psychology, A Dark and Stormy Night. And what the person who wrote this, it's basically a psychological breakdown of Batman, the different types of Batmans, the evolution, his relationships and whatnot. And one of the theories that was postulated was that, the mask is Bruce Wayne, the real man is Batman, which basically the author, I can't remember his name, but, he's a genuine psychiatrist. He's, has been published and whatnot. He said that you can't say that because it's a symbiotic relationship. The two are one. But Bruce Wayne had to become Batman in order to really become Bruce Wayne. But there would never have been a Batman if there hadn't been a Bruce Wayne. Okay. If you understand that.
Yeah, I do, yeah. So, Dutton, it's my first pick. What I've decided to do is I'm going to battle my first pick against your first pick.
I wonder who this
you've
is.
Done Batman, I've got to go Iron Man.
It's interesting.
I would not have gone Iron Man first pick
No,
I
but you've got to
probably
play
would
the
have picked
room,
him. Because you've gone Batman, I feel that I have to go Iron Man. He's like the opposite of Batman in that he doesn't care that people know who he is. He's just a philanthropist, billionaire playboy,
Genius.
genius. And he doesn't care if anybody knows about it. I suppose it's tough at the moment to distinguish him away from the fact that it's Robbie Downey Jr. And I don't really want to, because Robert Downey Jr. is awesome. I like the billions. I like to think that because you've got the Wayne Enterprises on your side, Dutton, in your 5-on-5 matchup, you're going to use that money. I therefore need money on my side and have to go with Stark Enterprises.
I hear that, yeah. Sounds
So
logical.
it's not necessarily my first pick.
No.
It's just my response to your Batman choice. I do like Iron Man.
Yeah.
I have to say I would have picked Batman ahead of Iron Man, but I'm not first pick.
No.
So I then just have to deal with the cards that have been dealt. Dutton, second pick.
Well, I tried to anticipate your pick based on who I thought who you'd think would be mine. So you've basically gone against. You've gone with a strategy. So I've got no hesitation in taking Spider-Man.
What a I can't say that. That's a fair, because he's the best superhero, and he was number one on the board. Why have you gone with Spider-Man, Dutton, apart from the fact to annoy me?
Mainly to annoy you.
Should we discuss why he's the best of all the superheroes?
I'd like to hear your take. Yeah, so you're more the Spidey expert than I am.
He's clever, he's smart, he's funny, he's witty. He reminds me of me, and that's why I like Spider-Man the best.
Yeah.
He also swings from building to building and gets to do things with Mary Jane Watson and Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Which makes him a big-time winner in my book.
Of course.
He has cool bad guys as well, and I always think this is a major good point on the side of your superhero. Same with Batman. I like the whole Doc Ock, Green Goblin sense of things.
Yeah, it's one of those. You're only as good as the villains you're up against, and if you're up against some pretty no-mark characters, well, you're not wanting to be feared, really, are you? Also, of course, Spider-Man is quite unique in most of them, in the sense that he's actually from a real city.
Well, all of the Marvel characters are from a real city.
Whereas most of the DC make them up.
Yeah. Weirdly enough. I always think that Spider-Man is the most relatable. I like Batman, but I can't be Batman. He's not a billionaire. Can't be Iron Man.
He's not a billionaire. But this
billionaire.
Slightly neurotic student type.
I was a neurotic teenager.
I still am. Not a teenager.
And Spider-Man fits that bill. So I think it's a great pick to him.
Thank you.
And I think you're already 2-0 up. I say that, but I'm going to pick the Hulk. So I'm going to crush your puny spider. And I also get the genius of Banner. I think, as we know, Spider-Man is intelligent and works on being clever and uses his smarts in that way. Hulk, not that clever. However, when he's not Hulk, he's Bruce Banner and he is very clever. When I was younger, I never really got the Hulk. Actually, if you ask my parents, when the Lou Ferrigno one was on the telly, I'd actually hide behind the couch and I was scared. Can't believe I just said that on podcast. So I hated the Hulk. Now I've grown to appreciate his work. I think he's he's an awesome superhero.
And also, it's a metaphor for those of us who do have anger issues. While your anger can be is a power you can use for good. You need to have the clear head of your other half to make sure it's as Ruffalo says, I'm always angry. I just choose not to show it.
That's a great line in the film. Avengers Assemble. Great work by Ruffalo. And probably the only time they got Hulk right in a film.
I think it's the first time they've got it right. It's probably the first time they've got Banner right as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Ruffalo's a very good actor. I like Banner as an actor, and I love Norton, but I'm just not sure the Hulk.
No.
But I think Banner is. He's got that kind of look about him. Mm-hmm. Kate Dutton, their pick.
Well, if again, I have to factor in the Hulk, who is, as we know, is indestructible as long as he's angry. Well, in the fight to the finish stakes, then we're going to go with Superman.
See, I'm not going to lie to you, Dutton. I haven't got him on my list. There's a reason for that.
Because Damashek, actually, on the latest DDFP, did make this excellent point. They were talking about, who'd win in a fight between the Hulk and Superman, because, they're both indestructible. The advantage that Superman has, of course, is that you can grab the Hulk by the toe, fly him into space, and leave him there. I'm not saying the Hulk would die, but he'd have a bit of trouble getting back.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense to me. I hate Superman now.
I know, and again, it's a prime
lazy. It's lazy superhero. Yeah. I'm just going to give you all the powers, and you're going to be scared of Green Rock.
Yeah, and again, it's a prime motivation of why I've picked him, because it's annoying you.
And there's absolutely no way Spider-Man and Superman and be able to can go as this. I wouldn't allow it. So Dutton, I see what you've done there with Superman. So you know what I'm going to pick? Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen.
Ooh, interesting.
As he would own Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And he's cool and blue. He's not technically cool. He's really weird. And he can see into the future and is one of the intelligent men on the planet. But if anyone's going to be able to deal with Superman, I'm going to go with Dr. Manhattan.
That's definitely an interesting pick. I mean, but, as we saw in the Watchmen movie, his attention isn't always on the job.
Yeah, there will be focus issues. Maybe that's where I need to be the manager in this team. Maybe my team needs a manager. I don't know, the Bobby the Brain Heenans type idea. So Dutton, fourth pick.
See, the manager angle just came into my mind here because I did consider Professor X, but I'm thinking, all he can do is really control, your brain. He's in a wheelchair. He's not going to be able to get around much. So I will go with, one of the ultimate soldier, Wolverine.
Nice. See, as Dutton discussed before in the dictionary definition, there was a debate before we did this whether we would actually allow Wolverine in him being a mutant rather than a superhero. We both agreed that he should be in, so there was less debate. Why you go Wolverine, Dutton?
Again, it's the built-in weaponry, the adamantium, and the power to regenerate. Practically indestructible.
So, Dutton, ironically enough, I have a pick to defeat this pick. Can you name me a weakness in Wolverine?
Metal.
Can you name me another one?
He smokes.
No. He's indestructible. He smokes what he wants. Jean Grey is his. Dark Phoenix is my next pick.
Interesting.
So not only do I completely and utterly neutralise Wolverine until such time as she allows him to do something, I also have someone who can fly, travel through time, travel through space, and read people's minds, and basically destroy planets.
It's one way to spend a Friday night.
And I've also ticked off equal opportunities as she's a tart.
Well played there.
Thanks. See what I did there? Just kind of derogatorily used equal opportunities. Dutton, final pick.
See, this is a tough one. Need to think. See, we've taken, I think, the as it were, the banner stars. So now we just have to think, and I'm just playing for time here because I'm thinking, eventually you might fall asleep. It is tough, but I'm probably going to have to go with the Thing.
Nice. Why did you go with the Thing, Dutton?
Again, he's basically a big brick.
Basically, your thing is to fight the Hulk, as they love fighting each other.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. It's because I've identified, in division there is a threat. I'm going to work out a way to neutralise that threat. So I'll go Thing and Superman against the Hulk.
Okay. Do you know what, Dutton? I've got an indestructible machine. I've got a doctor. I've got a philanthropist, billionaire, playboy genius. I've got a tart who reads minds. Do you know what I'm missing? A god. I'm going with Thor. His big hammer.
Kirk's dad.
Kirk's dad. Indeed. You prat. Not only does he have cool flowing blonde locks and talk in a strange language, but he's also a god and can probably bring down rain Valhalla upon us and bring the beginning of Ragnarok and other such Norwegian fables.
Nordic fables, I think. Or Norse, sorry.
Norse, okay, let's say Norse.
Yeah.
And he's got a cool hammer, which I've got in our house. But if you breathe anywhere near it, it makes a stupid noise. It's possibly the worst present I've ever bought anyone.
It was an early consideration, of course, for one of the names of my bats, but then I realised that the Newbury Bat Company do have a range of bats called the Mjolnir, so I couldn't call it that. Yes, they do.
Didn't know that.
It's not the most unpleasant bit of equipment I've ever seen.
Yeah, I like it, Don. I also get to control thunder, which I always think is cool.
That's good, yeah.
And lightning, obviously. So, Dutton, your picks. Batman. Spider-Man. Wolverine. The Thing. And who else? I'm missing one out.
Who did I finish with then?
The Thing?
Oh, you got Superman?
Superman, sorry, I have missed Superman. I've gone Iron Man, Hulk, Dr. Manhattan, Jean Grey, and Thor. I suppose the question is, Don, who's going to win? It'll be an epic battle.
It would be, but
probably have to do it on a different world.
I'm pretty.
Don't want to destroy this one.
We saw what happens when these buggers were fighting in New York.
Exactly.
So they go off to another planet and have your little tiff.
What we'd like is our listeners to decide who's going to win. Drop us a tweet at waxing_lyrical or individually. Dutton is at ndutton13 and I am at Mainz7.
Hashtag Dutton's Daredevils.
Dutton's Daredevils. I like it. Hashtag Mainzy's Marvels.
Shocking.
Dutton couldn't be anything else. Which is my fantasy name for everything. But it fits perfectly for this.
It does.
So hashtag Mainzy's Marvels. Hashtag Dutton's Daredevils. And if you pick Dutton's Daredevils, you're just on the side of wrong. You just don't like women and gods. Tell you what, I should write that bit.
Yeah.
Right, Dutton. Let's move on. Okay, Dutton. So people may say we've asked for listener questions because we didn't have anything to talk about. Not true.
No?
Lies, I say. We just wanted to give the people what they want, which is their own questions answered by yours truly and yourself.
They're heroes.
They're heroes. If we're heroes, Dutton, I think people need to reevaluate their lives. Like.
Well, yeah.
Should we go first then?
Yeah, I think we should.
Our glorious leader on UK end zone, Ollie Connolly, easy for me to say,
Him as well.
asked a couple of questions. First one's first, Dutton. Why hasn't he been on the pod yet?
Well, he's such a busy man. I mean, by his own admission, he did 6 hours of podcasting the other day, and one loyal UK End Zone football programme listener listened to them all in one day.
Is that you?
It wasn't me, no. There's a open invitation for him to come on anytime he wants, and we'll ask nice, full toss questions. He can hit out the park, make himself look wonderfully superior to us, and then we'll bow and we'll scrape, and he'll go away knowing he's superior to us.
Sounds perfect, Dutton. Mm-hmm. We're more than willing to do that. Glorious leader. Mm-hmm. His next question, which is also probably excellent. What is the coolest movie poster of all time? Ollie suggests Steve McQueen on a bike or Joker from Batman. Dutton, I've got an answer for this. Love Godfather. Love Pulp Fiction with Uma Thurman. Mm-hmm. Love Arnie and Terminator 1.
Yeah.
Favourite Scarface.
Your favourite is
Scarface. Closely followed by Arnie.
Big fan of the Reservoir Dogs poster. It's simple, it's effective, it's just some guys in black suits looking cool. The theme tune does make it.
It is a great film, it's a great choice. So, Ollie, understand your points. We still think you're a glorious leader. I'm going with Scarface. Closely just behind Terminator. Well, Terminator just behind Scarface. And Dutton's going Reservoir Dogs.
And then Godfather.
Nice. And then Godfather. Nice. Next question, Dutton. Ollie raised the point that there's a concept called Hitler chic in Thailand. And then asked, is there anything off limits?
See, we've talked in the past with Uncle Andrew, of course, about the joys of bad advertising campaigns.
We have.
I have to be honest, man of the world I am, I've no idea what Hitler chic is.
No, I didn't either. And I actually don't really want to.
It's not something I'm comfortable typing into Google.
No, especially when you're in work. That isn't NSFW for sure. The strange thing I find about this is, the world is politically correctness mad.
Yes.
But there's nothing out of bounds.
Yeah.
So how that happened, it's like everything's PC apart from everything, which is completely out of bounds. Like they've just opened these naked parks in Munich. What the F is that about? You want to see naked Germans?
More naked Germans?
Probably more naked Germans, yeah. We're going to Cologne. I hope you haven't got any naked gardens there.
I hope not.
Last thing I want to see is you or Amelia or Gaz naked. Good God.
If they made a law in this country, you had to be naked, you still wouldn't see me naked. No one needs to see it.
I think you'd be arrested, like.
It'd put you off
arrested for
life.
wearing clothes. Dutton. Next question from Indy Sarah. American listener. How cool is that?
Fellow rank amateur.
Fellow rank amateur. Which fictional character would you most like to hang around with?
Han Solo.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Does that mean you want to be Chewbacca?
No, it would be me, Han, and Chewie. I'd be the third wheel.
Why though?
He's the coolest character in Star Wars, with the possible exception of Boba Fett. But he's just cool. And
he is cool.
I mean, Dr. Jones is alright, but he's a bit bookish. You know what I mean? He's a bit intense. Han's, a bit, fly by the seat of your pants. Shoot first, ask questions later. Which is why Greedo did not shoot first. Sorry, I just had to get that off.
Calm down.
Kirk would be up there, but Kirk ultimately is, again, he's far too focused and driven on his mission.
Okay. So if I was a perv, I would say Black Widow in the Marvel films. However, I'm not.
Proved.
I'd like to strongly suggest that I'm not. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have martini, shaken, not stirred, with Mr. James Bond.
Yeah, because his friends in the films and his cohorts always seem to turn out so well, don't they?
I'm not in the film, Dutton. I'm hanging around with him. He's not on a mission. We're just playing baccarat in a seedy London establishment with cigars and alcohol. Probably a lot of women for James.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'd be that interesting to hang around with.
I'd like to find out.
Because he couldn't exactly talk about his work, could he?
No, I work with him. But we're just not on a mission.
You
want to talk to some guy who groans all the time.
Well, no, I'm just thinking, that if you both work for the SIS, the chances are you being allowed to socialise together, you'd have to go to the in-house bar. You probably wouldn't be allowed to go out and about.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a security risk, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. I'm with James Bond, though. He's kicking everyone's ass.
True.
So I understand what you're saying, but I'm not too sure. Dutton, next. From the gorgeous Miss Kate Malmquist. What would you do to survive a zombie apocalypse?
Die.
She wouldn't survive. Or you just become a zombie.
How would I survive? Let's look at this. What survival skills do I have? Cowardice.
Okay.
I can't even run anymore
No, you can't. That's a good point.
due to my unshapely spine. I can't.
And your knees.
I can't camp out. I can't. I wouldn't know how to make a fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All the medicines in the world would go.
Exactly. I'm asthmatic, so I'd need that. I'd need all the other things. I'd be just lie down and let them kill me.
So
Or if I saw the zombies coming, double tap to the head, then it's all over.
See, this is a good point. So I have two responses to this. Obviously, Kate told me about this question, and she's with her mate Amy at the moment. And they told me to Google purpose-built zombie apocalypse house. And there is one in existence, and it's like designed specifically to survive a zombie apocalypse. So first of all, I'll buy the house and live in it. Second of all, for the people who've watched The Walking Dead, there's a woman in it with a big sword, but she carries round a zombie who she's chopped the arms and legs off. I think it's her brother. I'm not too sure. Spoiler alert there, by the way. And like ripped his teeth out. But she uses him as like zombie stench, so the zombies won't come near her. Guess what, Dutton?
You'd cover yourself in zombie vomit.
No, congratulations, you're my zombie with no arms and legs.
It's nice to have a role.
I assumed you were going to kill yourself. So, by definition, I can use you then. So I'm going to use you by chopping your arms and legs off and helping me survive.
It's always nice to know that in death I've been helpful.
The other approach is my standard Casey Affleck and Goodwill Hunting. Let everyone else do the fighting, run in the end, kick someone in the head, and run off.
I fear that you'll run into too many problems.
I don't see many problems that it doesn't solve, Dutton.
Yeah, true.
I just like it. Okay, done. Next one. From Steve Shepherd from New Zealand. He was probably just awake to see the city of Drum and Sunderland. Scottish independence or a Prime Minister who isn't white. Yeah, he did say that. He's from New Zealand, what can I do?
That's it, we just, we have no power over the Twitter of other people.
You know what I mean? What do you reckon, Dutton?
Scottish independence.
I just can't see them voting for it.
I can't see them voting for it. I also can't see, I can't see the other thing happening though.
Barack Obama. If it happened in America, mate, telling you.
Yeah, but at the
Benjamin Disraeli surely fits into this, though. Surely we've already done this.
Yeah.
And let's not beat around the bush. We've already voted a woman. So,
No, we didn't.
Well, you know what I mean.
We went back to the zombie apocalypse.
Back to the zombie apocalypse, yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah, defo. Ding dong, indeed.
Indeed.
Tony, what's your stock order of a Chinese, Dutton?
A taxi for an Indian.
Dutton doesn't do Chinese, Tony. Fail on your part. As you well know, Tony, Mainz is always getting salt and pepper chicken wings. The other stuff looks after itself. There's always salt and pepper chicken wings in that world.
Don't overstock on rice. It's empty carbs.
Don't overstock on rice. That's if you're going for an all-you-can-eat, Dutton.
Mm-hmm. The John Moran, Jamie Adam approach.
Yeah, stay away from the rice. It's there to fill you up. It's a fair logical concept as well.
It is. I mean, you've got all this other stuff that tastes a lot nicer than rice does. Just because there's more rice, yeah, congratulations, you just spent $5 for a bowl of rice.
Yeah, true. Dutton, we have two more questions, but we want to save them to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
although I'm technically not a listener. And I believe you've got a question for me.
And I am a listener.
And you are a listener. I hate listening to myself. You need to listen to my dulcet tones. If you could do one job for the rest of your life, Dutton, what would it be?
It would be a sport writer on, the sports I have a passionate interest in. So, the NFL, cricket. As I just like writing about them. I don't necessarily need something to have happened. I just like writing with those as my central themes. And I flatter myself I have some small talent for it. But yeah, I just think it'd be an interesting job, be a chance to provoke thought, invite debate, and still write about something you thought that you enjoyed and were passionate about.
I like it, Dutton. It's a good question. It's a good thing. I thought that's what you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
What's my question, Dutton?
Your question is, again, a bit more introspective. What do you consider your and my biggest weaknesses? Don't say cake.
What, don't say cake?
Yeah.
No, my biggest weakness isn't cake. I'm not a big fan of cake. My biggest weakness is I try and please too many people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Your biggest weakness is that bendy back you've got.
Yeah. It has taken something, the back has gone straight into number one with a bullet over the dodgy knees, to be honest.
Yeah, because it makes you sound like Hunchback of Notre Dame.
This is the problem, it's not hunchback, is it? It's too
the
straight.
It's the straight back of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I can see why that didn't, why that title didn't fly.
Yeah, the straight back of Rainford. It's not quite the catchy title of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, is it?
No, I can see why the location was changed.
If you, in all seriousness, what would your fatal flaw be?
I think personally, I take too many things too personally. That if I'm doing something, I get very involved in it, and I want it to be very good, and therefore when something breaks down, I take it personally, regardless of whether it's like a technological link, it's another human link. It's for some reason I consider it as something that I could have controlled or anticipated. Mm-hmm. So I will beat myself up on it often.
Yeah,
often needlessly.
I'm very similar. As I said, mine's usually I try to become a pleaser of people. That's is almost impossible. So I shouldn't really do it, and just please the people who should be pleased.
Exactly.
Need to be pleased.
Those that matter don't mind, and those that mind don't matter.
Correct, Dalton. Correct. Final two questions, Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
Kate asks, am I funny? As in, am I funny, me, Mainz? And is she funnier than me? That's your question, Dalton.
Well, I like to think of you as the only wise of this partnership.
Thanks.
In that, I couldn't be funny without you.
If only I could swear on this podcast.
Mm.
So we're saying Kate's funnier. I mean, you have met her twice.
She's in a more quaint humour type of way.
I'm going to say she's funnier because otherwise she'll get really annoyed. Love you.
Well, I'll just go, flat out, that not many women make me laugh.
What I've said before of Kate is funny for a woman.
Yeah.
She doesn't like the caveat. I don't care. The last one, Dutton, is from Tony. If I'm not funny and you are the funny one, which I suppose has been widely accepted now, whether I like it or not. What's my title?
The ginger one. Drops mic, leaves stage.
Well, do you know what? There's no point going on any further. From the funny one to the ginger one. Thanks for downloading.
Don't